So Bradford City's FA Cup journey comes to an end in the first round after a 2-1 defeat at home to Wycombe Wanderers, and in today's video I'll be bringing you guys my thoughts and opinions on this news. If you do go on to enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and 80 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your thoughts on today's game. Obviously this was a game that was unavailable really to watch anywhere unless you were actually inside the stadium. Put 2 and 2 together. I wasn't inside the stadium, so I wasn't unfortunately unable to watch the game today, but judging by the updates that we've seen, you know, Simon Parker's live blog and all that sort of stuff, I am going to be able to put a match reaction together for you, but it's not really going to be going much into detail about the match reaction. It's just going to be again another conversation about Bradford City and why we're so desperate for a manager. The positives that you can take out of being knocked out in the first round of the FA Cup, it does mean that the first week of December, the first Saturday in December, we will have a free week for that. So if you get any injuries in the upcoming weeks that are going to be short term, it allows you to give that extra time to rest players and all that sort of stuff. But when you saw the draw and it was Wycombe at home, I was happy that it was against a team in the league above me. Personally, I always prefer away games to home games because in the first couple of rounds of cup matches, our home attendances and atmosphere isn't normally great. You know, I remember Hull at home last season, but apart from that, in the first few rounds, it's normally pretty boring. So that's why you do want an away game. Away to Wycombe, though, would have been a little bit of a trek to have to get to, unfortunately. But in terms of how both teams have got on then so far this season, we're currently struggling in League 2. We're 16th in the table. After 16 games, we've only picked up the 5 wins. Wycombe Wanderers, a well-established League 1 side. They, going into this game, were only 4 points off the playoffs. After 15 games, they've picked up 6 wins and 4 draws, so not too bad, to be fair. They've got some very, very good quality players in their side, so we knew it was going to be a tough match. They're normally pretty physical and direct, or they have been under Gareth Ainsworth. I'm not really too sure how they're playing under, is it Matt Bloomfield, I think his name is? Obviously, former player, went to Colchester for a bit, struggled there, ended up getting the Wycombe job when Gareth Ainsworth moved on to QPR. He's obviously since been sacked from QPR and recently I think signed a new contract with Wycombe Wanderers as well, but we knew it was going to be a very tough game. Like I say, they've got a number of quality players in their side and some stats going into the match. Bradford City and Wycombe Wanderers had only previously faced in the FA Cup once, and that was in the 96-97 season where Bradford City won at 2-0. In terms of another statistic, Wycombe Wanderers and Bradford City last met in the 2018-19 League 1 campaign, with Wycombe Wanderers winning 2-1 at Valley Parade. I think Akinfenwa were played in that game, and then obviously we had a 0-0 draw at Adams Park. Another stat for you is Bradford City have been eliminated in the FA Cup first round in each of the last 2 seasons. They haven't done so in a more consecutive seasons since between the 63 and 64 campaign to the 66 and 67 campaign, a run of 4. That has obviously continued today. And the final stat I'll give you going into the match was Wycombe Wanderers have been eliminated in their last 4 FA Cup first round ties, last winning at this stage in the 17-18 season when they knocked out non-league Solihull Moors. They only progressed from 2 of their last 10 ties at this stage against a side from League 1 or League 2. Of course, Bradford City break all these statistics because that is just what we do. In terms of how we lined up then for this match, obviously this was a different caretaker manager for us. There was no Kevin McDonald in the dugout. He was on the bench, didn't come on though, and we saw Mike Truman pick the team today, and I was disappointed by his team selection, if I'm honest. I think he should have been braver with it. You know, he should have taken a little bit more responsibility and made some bigger decisions, and he didn't do that. It seems like McDonald and Truman, like what I mentioned before, because they know they're not permanent managers, they can't make the big decisions because that might upset the dressing room, so they have to pick the favourites and the players who are least likely to kick up a fuss if they do get dropped, unfortunately. And we saw the 4-2-3-1 as expected, with Harry Lewis starting in goal, a back four of Brad Halliday, Ash Taylor, Sam Stubbs and Liam Rideout, with a midfield pivot of Richie Smallwood and Alex Gilliard, a front 3 behind the striker of Bobby Poynton, Jamie Walker and Emmanuel Sidibe, with Andy Cook leading the line. Now I looked at that team and thought, why is Ash Taylor starting? Why is Liam Rideout starting? Why is Emmanuel Sidibe starting? Why is Tyler Smith not in the starting 11? Why is Lewis Richards not playing? Why is Ash Taylor in there ahead of all of our other central defenders? And I don't think Taylor was too bad against Sutton. Platt not being involved in the squad was a weird one, considering he was back in full training on Thursday, so I didn't really understand that one. I was happy to see Poynton get the start once more because I think he links up really well with Jamie Walker, and again I thought they both did that really well in this one. There were a number of tweets from both Bradford and Wycombe complimenting their link-up play at times, and obviously Andy Cook leading the line. I wouldn't say I was surprised to see him lead the line, I was just more surprised to see Tyler Smith Smith not included there. Wikipedia have Wycombe's formation down as a 4-4-2, so if that's incorrect, I can only apologise. But they had Stryjek in goal with a back four of Pattendon, Tafazoli, Lowe and Boys, with a midfield four of Phillips, Potts, Leahy and Wheeler, and a front two of Taylor and Sadlier. Like I said, that could be wrong, I do apologise, but that is just according to Wikipedia. And like I've mentioned already in this video, they've got some very, very good players in their side. They're a well-established League One outfit, and they took the lead early on in the game through, I think it was Killian Phillips, wasn't it? Like I say, I haven't seen the goal, I don't really know too much about it. He scored the first goal of the match. The second goal they scored is an own goal from Sam Stubbs. It sounds like a cross came into the box. Both Lewis and Stubbs went for it, pretty much unchallenged really, apart from them both going for it, and it ended up in the back of our net, and we've given ourselves a mountain to climb really. It sounded like that in the first half we didn't really play too poorly. It sounded like the two goals we conceded were, one was just a great goal from Wycombe's point of view, and then the second one was more of a mistake from Osadibe. Like I've mentioned, I haven't seen the goal back, so I can't really comment. I'm just going on what I've been told and things like that. But yeah, disappointing from that point of view, and I'm not really too sure why Osadibe was starting. He got subbed off without before an hour had even played, and I don't think Osadibe does have a future at Bradford City. Let me know down in the comment section down below. If we got an offer in for Osadibe in January, would you want to accept it, or would you want to look to extend his contract further and give him another chance this season? But for me personally, and I'm not just blaming it all on Osadibe, but he's just so poor and he just doesn't offer anything, and yeah, it is really, really disappointing. Obviously, we managed to pull a goal back. We had some really good second half pressure. Their keeper made a number of really, really good saves. I think the best one from the way the tweets were worded was Andy Cook had a header, cross came in from Brad Howden, it was a great save from their keeper. We managed to finally get past him though through Jamie Walker, who apparently again had another really, really good game. In the 64th minute, his shot, I think, took a deflection, managed to go past the goalkeeper, and after that, it didn't really sound like we had too many clear-cut chances. You know, we could have scored 1, 2 or 3 before our goal, and then after that, there was nothing really clear-cut. But in terms of the statistics from the game, again, we had 17 shots. They only had 7. We had 5 on target. They had 3. We had 60% of the ball. They only had 40%. But like what I've mentioned many times, possession doesn't mean all too much if you don't do much with it, and shots don't mean much if you don't really get them on target. You know, having 17 shots but only 5 on target, it's just not good enough really, is it? Certainly towards the end of the game, it started to sound very scrappy. Wycombe picked up a number of yellow cards. They ended the game on 5 yellow cards. We ended it on 3. We had 7 corners. They had 5 as well. And like I say, it's not a bad result on paper. I predicted a 2-0 defeat, so to come away with a 2-1 defeat against a team who are pushing for the playoffs in the league above, on paper, it doesn't look too bad. But it's still frustrating, and it's still another loss on there, and you always want to go on cup runs and things like that. So to go out in all the cup competitions now, apart from the EFL trophy, which we've already qualified for with a game to go, but I think that final match against Barnsley will be rearranged because Barnsley will have to play their Carabao Cup replay on that day, I think I'm right in saying. But yeah, frustrating to be out of all of the important cups really, but at least it gives us the old cliche of now being able to focus on the league. One thing I do just want to touch on as well finally before we end today's video, the crowd today was announced as 3,642 with 249 from Wycombe. I was really surprised to see that many from Wycombe. You know, you're playing against a team a million miles away, not exactly around the corner, who are in the division below. Yes, it's obviously a big stadium and not been there for, you know, 5 years or whatever it is now, but still a pretty decent turnout from Wycombe, so fair play to all the Wycombe fans who did travel. If there is any Wycombe fans watching, make sure to get your thoughts in on the game down in the comment section down below. The more information I can get from the game, the better, because like I say, I was unfortunately unable to watch it. But back onto the crowd anyway, for a little bit of context, in the first round of the FA Cup last season, we had 6,837 as the attendance. So people who were claiming that the boycott was just social media noise, it's clear to see there, and I've seen some pictures as well. It didn't really look to me like there was, you know, nearly 3,700 people there. I would say no more than 2,500. There's a lot of people who didn't turn up. Obviously, we announced our crowd as the amount of tickets that have been sold rather than the amount of people that have actually gone through the turnstiles, unfortunately. So I don't think that will be an accurate figure, but yeah, it's clear to see there that the fans are frustrated. They want change, whether that be the ownership, the board, whatever it may be. The fans want change, and it's not just social media noise. When we've had a significant drop like that, over a 50% drop from the previous year, and we're playing against a team in the division above, whereas last season we played at home to Harrogate and we we were going to have them to come up in a month or two's time as well in the exact same fixture. So that tells you everything you need to know. I thought the pricing of the game was really poor as well. £15 for the first round of the FA Cup was just going to put people off really. And yeah, overall disappointing to be out of the cup. It sounds like we didn't play too poorly, but I think the best thing we can do now is hopefully we announce a new manager tonight. The absolute latest they can announce a new manager is 8 o'clock Monday morning. Obviously as well, with this not being a league game, there will be no 6 Things That We Learned video coming out tomorrow. There is no midweek game as well, so you'll have some different League 2 content hopefully coming out next week, and hopefully my thoughts on Bradford City's new manager, whoever that may be. There was a picture that did the rounds on social media. Apparently there was somebody sat with their hood up in the media box. I personally feel if they were going to hide a manager, surely they'd do it in the top of one of the stands, which are being closed and no one can really see him. But yeah, I wouldn't really read too much into that picture. If you have seen it, they were probably just cold and maybe on the phone to their mother. You never really know. But thank you all very much for tuning in to today's video. Apologies again about me not being able to give a full in-depth match review because I was unable to watch the game, but hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 80 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed. If you haven't already, with that post notification bell on, it's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get a comment as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your thoughts on today's game. What do you think we should do regarding Osadibe? Do you want to see him be sold in January? Do you think he should be given a new contract? Let me know that sort of stuff down below. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Peace.